Before I was interrupted, I was talking about the eruv, and what I was saying was that essentially the religious symbol of the eruv, quote unquote, is the bread, which also it's hard to really consider a religious symbol. It's not like tefillin or tzitzis or something like that. That's purely religious. It's the idea that you have one shared common meal that everyone can share together, theoretically, even if it's not actually shared, but the ownership is shared. And that's where we say the blessing over, and so forth. The strings are not a religious symbol any more than you would say that the walls of a apartment building or a hotel are a religious symbol, or just any regular fence or anything like that. It's a within the tenets of the religion that this existing structure and has this quality to it. But it's not a religious symbol the way that a crucifix would be, or a mezuzah lahavdil, or something like that. That's the first issue. Now, we go on and so forth about the laws of the eruv. People are going to point out what the laws of the eruv include, that you need to have permission from, generally we'll say, the local government has to give you permission. What people are not aware of now, so they say, look, in Mahwah, they're breaking the law. What people don't know is that the local government was totally informed about the eruv. And that the police were there while it was being put up to make sure that it followed all the laws. And so this invention that somehow, and this went on some months ago, and this invention that this is a violating some ordinance of putting up signs. First of all, it's not a sign. It's a structure. It's not a sign at all. It's full of it because the police knew all about it when it was put up, and they made sure, when the rabbis put it up, they made sure all the laws were being followed. So this is really a lame excuse, last minute. Just some things we could point out. When Tenafly tried to prevent the eruv, Tenafly, New Jersey tried to prevent the eruv. They went through a very long court case, cost them a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer money, and they lost the case. That's the first thing. Second thing is, putting up an eruv doesn't mean religious Jews are planning to move into a community. It generally means that they already live there, and it certainly doesn't mean they plan to take over. I grew up in New Hyde Park, Queens, where you have a small but vibrant Orthodox synagogue, and you have an eruv there for many years. My Zayda Alav Shalom used to check the eruv every week. And that's the, you didn't see tons of Orthodox Jews moving into the community as much as the synagogue would love it. But it doesn't mean that it's going to attract people. Bloomingburg, for example, which there's all this controversy, does not have an eruv around the whole village. So instead instead of having one eruv around the whole village, you have what's probably a bigger eyesore is that, I guess they do have an eruv around the new development, but you have all these homes within the original village before the annexation, outside the new development, that have their own eruv on their own property, and I'd say that's more of an eyesore. That would be solved if there was an eruv around the whole village. What else can we say? I mean, I lived in Richmond, Virginia. I was eruv there in Richmond, Virginia. We had an eruv. We only had about 40 Orthodox families there. Not all of them lived in the eruv. Where else? Washington, D.C. The White House itself is surrounded by an eruv. And you don't have tons of Orthodox Jews moving in there, although the left are probably upset about the ones who have recently moved there. Be a very blessed and honored president. And I think really a lot of the opposition to the president is because he has Orthodox Jews in his family, because of the hatred that the secular, formerly Jewish left has against Orthodox Judaism. What else can we say? And then there are other communities that don't have an eruv, yet have big Orthodox communities, or the eruv was only built later and is not recognized. Brooklyn, many people don't hold that the Brooklyn eruv are kosher, and before they were built, there was these big Hasidic communities. In Crown Heights, right now you have a fight because Chabad, they don't hold up the eruv that we generally hold up with the strings. They say it has to be a real wall in order to make an eruv. And there are modern Orthodox people who live in Crown Heights who want to have an eruv, and the Chabad are opposing it. And the same thing, in other Brooklyn communities, in general, in Williamsburg, the Puppah and Bells and so forth, they approved of the eruv, and Satmar, particularly from Satmar Lake, opposed it. For a while, it was kind of an argument. Mostly died down. And I remember my Rosh Yeshiva in Muncie. He wouldn't, I carried something with the eruv, and he wouldn't eat it until after Shabbos. Brought back some shirayim from a tish for the Rosh Yeshiva, and I went to a tish and I brought back some shirayim, and he said no, he won't eat it until Shabbos is over because he doesn't hold from the eruv. In general, the Litvische community is more strict than the Hasidic community about eruvin, except Chabad. Chabad is more strict than the Litvische community are. There are theories that the whole reason why Sabarov didn't put an eruv in Williamsburg was out of respect for the Litvische community. Particularly since, for the most part, the Litvische communities have accepted 72 minutes for Shabbos ending. And kind of the exchange was that the Sabarov wouldn't build an eruv in Williamsburg particular case, I don't think any part of Mahwah is actually within the eruv. It's just, except maybe a couple of feet here and there, you know. So it's not like people are, you know, it's not like the eruv is actually encompassing the town of Mahwah. It's bordering into it and slightly entering into it. You know, it's like saying, you know, Yellowstone Park is in Idaho, you know, or Wyoming. You know, it's mostly in Montana, or maybe it's the other way around. It's mostly in Wyoming, and a little bit of it's in Montana, a little bit's in Idaho. I mean, there it's obviously much larger area that's in those other states, but here we're talking about much smaller area, and here we're talking probably just a couple of feet, and all of it was done legally, 100%. You know, they're paying rent to the owners of the poles, which is the utility company. All of this was done 100% legally, and now there's just excuses, and I wouldn't be surprised if the ones who brought it up were self-hating Jews, you know, and then they get the, you know, typical Hillary voters and Bernie voters to ride on their coattails. That's what it's really all about. And then a few ignorant people who think that they're supporting Trump and they're really not, because if they really knew, it would be just opposite. Well, thank you for watching. God bless you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And comment below, and looking forward to talking more. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Alright, God bless.